YouTube.
YouTube. Okay, very good. Or you can fix it and put it on the site to capture.
That you are the organizer and one of the organizers.
Here.
Cool. Do you find it?
Yes, I did, but just
Yes, exit 8.
it was the last.
No, I'm dropping out. So,
Yeah. When you're coming,
yeah, this is, the sound is correct. Yeah, I find it. Okay, come now. I don't mention, I don't remember. See you here, bye-bye, see you. Okay, I come out. Yes, I can mention that I don't. Yeah, this is traveling.
Маш,
Oh, yeah.
я поправил. Скажи, как нормально она выглядит. Но сейчас секунду, как его лучше сделать. Вот так получится. Вот так нормально, да? Ты видишь меня, Олег? Ну, вот так нормально, да? Привет. Как дела? Все хорошо. Маш, смотри, кто у нас в гостях сегодня. Ты помнишь этого человека? Ну, ты видишь трансляцию или нет?
Вчера был у вас. Это как завтра, да?
Да. Это другое, другая тема.
Да, семинар тоже как да, сегодня трансляция у нас сегодня формат называется
Да. Висаля. Алло, может, ты слышишь меня?
在电视机、手机或者是草原的成绩型。周末这个兴趣的结合分。
I cannot have a tissue. I have to clean my glass. I don't really think who are you? No, I was thinking the phone. Head off. No, I don't know. It's not head off. Hey, you see that? Rush. Today, actually, I think it's the night. You said 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, long time ago, brother. Yeah, you're going. I mean, you know. You're going. The only one who cares. Okay, there's no real rush to you're living somewhere. You're living. You're going to somewhere. No. You're not living in the country. Oh, no. Where is the oh. So we're doing
Yes, he's not presenting Chinese business.
Oh.
Презентация акции записана. Oh, I can. Please make just bring your video camera. Here for me. Bring your video camera. Which video? Yes. You need to link it up. No. So we just. So it's now ready to. Of course, we put it on the table here. Yeah. And we start recording when you want.
А ты прям, сейчас. А ты не можешь? Я тебе уже экран.
We need to connect to the highest episode. Let's see. 4956 21256.
Think that has.
Actually, yes. But I don't have enough storage. Actually, I use actually. Okay, you find the no, just media.
Sam, did you check the clicker?
You check it out. Clicker for what? Yeah, but I think that we mean stripper than this.
You didn't beat a clicker.
No. I put it on your table.
Okay. Mouse then.
Just lighten it with each other. You know, when they told me about clicker, I confused with the triple. And I said clicker and triple. I'm just mentioning about presentation. I just. But I do many things in a hurry. Maybe when you call me. Maybe so. Yeah, I can ask Ivy.
Yeah.
You connect?
Дим, проверь презентацию. Полистай.
Ага, сейчас я.
Yeah, exactly.
Да, пускай будет слышно. Yes, maybe we can use a mouse. And, so do you know the like in this? No, not really. No, it's a classical. Yeah. Memory, change the button. No, jumbo. Is okay, guys.
Very nice talk.
Someone is late. Okay, guys, we're going to start. If you want to get some tea, coffee, biscuits, you can for this. You want something? Okay. Then we can say, I would tell you just where you are and the idea of this event. I would introduce myself first. My name is Dmitry. I organize different international events in Moscow. At the beginning, it was for language practice, for people who want to practice English language with foreign guests. And for foreign guests who are new in Moscow, who want to find friends, some society, someone whom you can communicate with. And just like a couple words, like we organize cultural mostly events, so sometimes we invite speakers who can share some information about their country, about their hobby, about their knowledge. Play games in English, like Mafia, table games, board games, different debates, discussions. In summer, we organize walking tours in English. We have a professional historian who make it really interactive, entertaining. And the main format is just speed meetings, so people meet in a cafe and talk between each other every 20 minutes. We suggest them to change the partner to be able to meet as much more people as possible. And one day, my friend Shakram Moifa is here talking with a with the bank. Now
Now he become
he
rich.
good afternoon. Oh, thank you. Nice to talking with you. Just give me 5 minutes. I come back with you. I will tell you about everything. Yeah,
It's a one-day conversation. I had to finish it and come back to you.
okay. So this guy joined our club, and until my name is Shahram Moinfa. You can call me Sam. I'm a businessman from Iran, and have another idea. Let's organize events for people who business oriented and who want not just to chat but also to share contacts, meet interesting people with other new ideas, maybe with a knowledge about Russian market or international markets. He do import and export of fruits from Iran to Russia. And at that moment, there were also people from different countries who also tried to enter Russian market or find a job. Or like there was a guy from Afghanistan who is chef of the restaurant. So and we decided, okay, why not? Why not to organize a separate event for people who want to exchange business cards, find useful connections. So we created the group in Facebook. For now, it's just only this group. So you can type it in your phone, or if you're registered, we will send you the link after. I invite you to join our Facebook group, and you can also post there some information. If you look for some information, some possibilities, you can like send the information there. And when you enter the group, there will be invitation to the WhatsApp chat, where you can also like post information about yourself if you look for the partner, if you look for the opportunities, or you want to suggest something. Just kind of networking. And once a month, or maybe once in 2 months, we will organize such kind of meetups, where usually we invite some interesting person who can share some information about business, about self-development, anything interesting for the audience. So actually we are open for everyone. If you know something special, which maybe not everyone knows, so you're welcome to be a speaker. This is it from my part, and I would like to introduce you our good friend, Artyom. He will tell about himself later, and he's an expert in Chinese market. So, Artyom, please.
Can you give me a moment?
Yeah, I will open your presentation.
Yeah. This one. Yeah. Yeah. Is there full screen, or maybe it's okay? Try to make it bigger. View.
96. Which is 70. Level 1.
Full screen mode. Yeah. Oh yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Just scroll
Down. Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Dmitry, for introducing, for organizing, since this is mostly this is his initiatives to arrange this type of meetings for the local Russians, for the foreigners, for anyone who's trying to do any type of businesses, and of course Sam as well. Here today we have a topic. It's related to China. As you know, China is becoming more actual topic for every type of knowledge. It could be a business, it could be science, it could be society, it could be everything, whatever. And China always raises a lot of different new knowledge, new directions in the development. Some of the people here who presented, I know this group of Chinese people, of course, I acquainted with them, Paul and the person sits behind him. And this is probably also going to help because we're going to try some way to communicate, to discuss if you, we're mostly going to discuss the communicational specifics in China, especially when we are doing business in China. This is a few words about me, myself. You can check it. Mostly my experience related to China comes from that I have lived in China for more than 5 years. I graduated the university in China, a master's degree in law. Then I started to have my business practice, and I'm helping the foreign companies in China to set up their businesses in China, both in China and Hong Kong. And of course, I have different experience negotiating with China, being between Chinese and foreign businessmen, trying to find a common ground with them. So if you specifically to this point, if you have some questions, you also could address that to me. Today's agenda is related to some basic communicational rules, which is accepted in China because it has specifics. We're going to focus on them, to analyze them. Then we're going to have some small activities related to how to greet people according to the Chinese standards, let's say so. Yeah. Then we're going to have some short breaks. Then I'm going to share some secrets of doing business in China, some communicational secrets. And then we're going to have also some short activity. This is pretty simple agenda. The time is pretty tight, so we should start over. Yeah, this is the smile of the Chinese. I have a question, by the way. Who from the audience has had a chance to visit China even once? Is there any of you have ever visited? Yeah, we have Chinese living in from China, of course. But who else have ever visited China?
I've been.
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2. That's all.
Yes.
So not too many. Yeah. No. Okay, just a few people, not too many people. It's actually surprised me because I thought that some of the people, of course, might have been visiting China. I thought it should be more people who had experience, but maybe you have some Chinese friends or some experience being with Chinese here in Russia. Is there anyone had the experience of being with friends with China? Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so then it could be some too many news for you from this presentation. Yeah, yeah. Regarding China, China, as you know, it's an ancient civilization. What comes to your mind when you hear the word China? What do you feel? Because
Are you hungry?
huh? Are you hungry?
Yeah. First
Okay.
question.
Okay, that's good. I'm going to clarify why the answer is that. Huh? Made in China. Okay. What else? A lot of people. Good.
Poor quality.
Poor quality. Huh? Похожесть. Fake. Okay. Подделка. Да, fake. Yeah, this is not the best what I expected to hear. Yeah, the China is within this audience is associated with something of like a mass production, bad quality, whatever. The large population, as we know, the China with the largest population in the world. Yeah, but China, if to go to the history, go to the basics, China is the country or society with the one of the longest ongoing history among all the countries which is presented on the globe. Yeah, China has the written history of more than 3,500 years. For instance, if we take the Russian history, it has only 1,300 years of the written history. China has the very authentic, deep, diversified culture, and that's why all the business, whatever problems or differences comes from that fact. Yeah, this is the one of the. I took it as the most important values which is accepted in China. If we go to the traditional basic values, you can check. This is a hierarchy. The Confucian values, communication, the face, the notion of face, or 面子 in Chinese it's called, or the notion of the Guanxi. I'm going to talk specifically about that right now. This is what I'm building my presentation around. And this is what is specifically is Chinese values right now. Confucianism, the Guanxi, it's a trust relationship. This is how they set up their communication. They set up their communication based on the trusted relationship. Personalism, it comes from the something modern and new, which is power of the rule of people rather than rule of law. Importance of relationship, paternalism, you can check it out, it's written more. Hierarchy. Yeah, according to the Confucian values, the Chinese people within the society, of course, they respect elder people, the people of the old, from the last, from the previous generations. They have a habit or custom to worship the previous generations. Yeah, this is the Guanxi. Guanxi is the combination of concepts, connections, trust networks. It's something which is we call relationship, but trust relationship. This is something a modern relationship. It's based on the experience of being in a relationship for the long period of time. And usually when we go to the business based not on the contract or based on some conditions of the contract, but based on the Guanxi. Sometimes when you go and trying to find some factory to produce the goods for you, or whatever, your first business communication is better to be based on the Guanxi. It helps you to pursue some the best conditions with the Chinese partners. Yeah, Guanxi. Guanxi, it's very important, and most of the sinologists, the experts who focused on the Chinese society, doing the business on China, they specifically mostly pay attention to this term Guanxi, since this is has much of importance to concept of face or 面子 in Chinese. This is the term of reputation. Chinese has some ranking of the reputations which everyone has. For example, if you're trying to help others, if you're trying to give someone support in anything, you are mostly increasing your face, increasing your ranking, increasing your reputation level. and this is always a good way. And of course, you can all your life work on your reputation, but doing some bad thing or some mistake within your business, you can lose or few 面子, so-called. So you can lose your face, you can lose all your reputation, and left with nothing. Yeah, this is the face. Yeah, this is the some tips to avoid causing a loss of face. This is something like avoid open conflict. Be more or less like a private. Trying to keep your relationship with your business partners in a private way. Be a listener. So try to behave in a serious and in a private way. Let's see, so. Yeah, this is some general things to work on your reputation. This is some general rules to increase your level of the reputation. But of course, the most important is to be a nice person. Is to try to give help to each other and to be responsive to each other. And this is give you it's rising your level of reputation. It helps you to grow in a society. You might have nothing. You might have no background. You have no wealth, but being the right person in the right circumstances could help you to grow in a society in terms of the work, in terms of the money, in terms of the business. This is the basic principle to grow in Chinese society. Yeah. This is something basic that I was focused on. Now this is how the Chinese names. We are slowly approaching some activity part. I'm going to tell how the Chinese name is structured. Usually Chinese name, for example, we have two Chinese here. What's your name? Huh? This is your Chinese name or English name? Which name? An Ge. An Ge. An. 你说你全名是什么？你姓什么？你姓什么？你不姓什么？
First name is Hotman.
Huh?
I'm Mongolian.
This is a Mongolian Chinese. Chinese.
Mongolian.
Yeah, Chinese Mongolian. Chinese has more than 56 ethnic minorities. He is one of the minorities. His name is structured not in the usual way, but 你的名字呢？对。
我是华侨，我不是中国人。
你是华侨，哪里的华侨？
我是新加坡华侨。
你新加坡的。你贵姓呢？
我姓林。
林。
双木林。
林。
林。双木林的。
两个省。
两个木。
木。明白了。林字呢？张良。He has a typical Chinese name. Even he's from Singapore. He is not. He is Chinese ethnical, but his family moved to Singapore like a few decades before. But anyway, he still having a Chinese typical name. Chinese typical name consists usually from composed of three characters. The first character is a name, and his surname. The first surname is the Li.
Yeah.
Li. It's a simple, very widespread surname. And then comes his name. Usually Chinese name consists of three characters, like this. Mao Tang Dong. Right. zu. This is the traditional character, right? Oh, anyway, this is the this is the good slide to check it out. Yeah, this is the 3 characters how the Chinese name is structured. This is his surname. Here is Zhang. His surname is Lin. And this is the 2 characters to express his name. And his name is Zhang Liang. This is the Jiama. Yeah. But when every Chinese has his English nickname. If you ask any Chinese, you are special. Okay.
Maybe every Chinese who can speak English.
No, mostly like a majority of Chinese people I knew, they might don't use this name, but they have it. Someone maybe in an English class when they went to school, the English teacher gave them the name, but mostly everyone. Some of them has 2 because when they grew older, they understand that they don't like it, so they change the names. But always they have an English name. And when you go to China, for example, or for example the Jack Ma, we had it. The Jack Ma, his name is Ma Yun, but we know him like a Jack Ma, right? So Jack this is his English name, and Ma is his surname, and everyone use that way to present it and to use that name overseas for Chinese. Yeah, this is some common phrases Chinese use to. This is a basic communication. I'd like we to try something together tonight, using these phrases to greet each other, maybe to share your names, because this is has a format of the business networking, so we need to stand up and get exchanged. I'm going to help you with the pronouncing these phrases, but yeah, and you might help me if I'm saying something wrong. Yeah, when Chinese meet, they basic greeting is a ni hao. Ni hao, it means hello. Mostly they even use hello. They don't use ni hao. They might use hello. We in Russia we don't use it, but in China they use it hi or hello or ni hao. If we try to in a polite way, it sounds like a nin hao. Nin hao, if to break it in 2 characters, it means you, ni, it's you, and hao. Hao, it means good. So you good means hello. This is some basic understanding. And then Chinese could greet you in a way like good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It sounds like a 早上好 or 下午好 or 晚上好. It consists of 3 characters. In the beginning, it is the morning and good. Morning good means good morning. Like this is the basic principle. And goodbye, 再见. If you'd like to ask how are you, in Chinese it sounds like a 你好吗? 你好吗? But to be honest, the Chinese don't usually use these words. Some foreigners who learn Chinese, they using that for communicating with Chinese, but Chinese they don't usually use these words 你好吗? They use something like 最近怎么样? Or how you doing recently? This is something they usually use. I want you to learn something. First I'd like to mention what you have said, that when Chinese meet, they don't ask each other how are you. They ask did you eat today, or 你吃饭了吗? For me this is a very I use it when I live in China, but overseas, the people don't know that Chinese use that way to communicate. So they ask, they first they say hello, and then they ask me, so did you eat today? But literally they put this meaning that did you eat today, but generally they mean how are you. So this is the principle. They ask you, did you eat? But the meaning and intention of that question is, are you hungry? How are you? So, and usually the response is, yeah, I have eaten. What's gola? Yes, I have eaten. Thank you very much. And this means like, how are you? Good. How are you? This is something like that. Regarding the name, we're going to stand up now, trying to do some greetings to each other. I'm going to ask you to do that. So, how to ask, what is your name? What is your name in Chinese going to be 你叫什么名字? This is a little bit difficult, but Chinese friends are going to help us. Anyway, 你叫什么名字? It means what is your name? And my name is, it sounds like 我叫 Arjun. My name is Arjun. And what else? Yeah, and maybe I'm going to ask you to learn the word thank you. This is also very widely used. The word, it's very simple. It's just a 谢谢. 谢谢 means thank you. Thank you. So now we're going to have some very short activity, if you agree, of course. So we have to find some person here among the group who you don't know.
И мама дает нам волшебный карандаш.
Who you don't know, and try to use a few phrases to be introduced, to ask the name. I'm going to teach you from the beginning. The first, you have to greet the person. It's 你好, and the response should be 你好. Then you should ask 你吃饭了吗? That means, did you eat today? You should ask 我吃了. You should respond 我吃了. And then you have to ask 你叫什么名字? What is your name? And then you have to respond 我叫 and to answer your name. So it's going to help you to be more comfortable and be comfortable. So if you comfortable, please stand up and try to find a person who you don't know. And the Chinese guy is going to help. Help. 你中国人是吗？是中国人。Yeah, you have
a pair or
the pair is the best. You just go and find a person who you don't know. This beautiful lady, I'm going to help. Yeah, I'm going. This is the hello. No, first is you find your pair, and then I'm going to help you, and every one of you going to repeat this word so you're going to help. Yeah. Oh, okay. This is.
don't be shy.
This is a good girl. Yeah. Are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, wait. Jeszcze Okay, if you found your pair, yeah, okay, 林哥，等一下。Yeah, the first, yeah, you should address to your partner with 你好, with just a hello. 你好. Yeah, not to me, to your partner. And you should to have a response, the same response. 你好. The second is after 你好 we say 你吃饭了吗？吃饭了吗？你吃饭了吗？ Are you okay? If you want, let's你吃饭了吗？ 你吃饭了吗？我吃了。 我吃了。吃了，吃了。你吃饭了吗？我吃了。Oh, this is a beautiful relationship. Talk to this lady. Yeah, the task is to greet someone in Chinese. 你好，你好。你吃饭了吗？我吃了。你叫什么名字？我叫洪浩。So we need to do with the same kind of that. From where? From 你好。
I can't speak Mandarin.
Вот это тоже нам не
Okay.
At the end, this is a transcription. Do you want to try? I'm going to help you.我不会说中文。 我不会说中文。
Oh, I don't understand.
What do you want to do?
I don't understand.
You better to find your dialogue. You can set up your own dialogue and I can help you This is my name is. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. 我叫。Yeah, anyway, choose anyone. I'm going to help you to speak it out. Yeah. Choose someone. No, choose any of them. We better to, yeah.
It's fine.
Because we have enough Chinese. Yeah, we just. Yeah. No. Also Paul, Chinese. Yeah, Paul is here. I'm here. Paul, brother, you must come in first.
I come first?
Yeah, of course, you are boss.
No, but he
Ladies and gentlemen,
No.
I suppose you're. Please.
这个怎么对话是不是？
Beautiful ladies this side.
对话。
你找了一个 No, just beautiful ladies this side. Yeah, of course. Thank you. So you'll be happy because you're beautiful.
No, go back to the first.
First. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry when the plan is started.
这个怎么对啊？从回到第一版，第一页。
So, thank you so much, Artisan. Very good Armenian guys, but grown up in Russia. And I want to introduce my brother, Paul, Mr. Paul Wine. He's a So, he's originally Chinese, grown up in Hong Kong. He's an international manager, have a very, very big company, leading as a general representative of the companies, international companies in Russia right now, and the CIS market, about investment, energy sector. So he's a cultural person from Chinese. You can ask any special professional question about traditions of Chinese, about behavior of Chinese, about what Chinese do, like or don't, and if you're a guy looking for a Chinese woman, ask him with experience.
No, you
and
put it
also, I suggest you, otherwise, to tell him how to be connected with the beautiful Russian woman. Okay? So I can just
Yeah, exactly. What we are trying to do, we're trying to build a dialogue.
And Arthur, please don't forget the 4 beautiful ladies.
We're just going to do one by example, Irene and Paul.
Yes.
You're going to set up the.
I know only one word.
Are we
No,
going
no,
to?
no. We use all. We use all this one.
Yeah. Any of these. For example, you start from the greetings. You start from the.
No, I think we should use like first time we met with the Nihao.
Yeah.
Not Nihao like Привет, right? We all know each other, but like Здравствуйте, Nihao.
It's a polite way.
No, it's more polite way because the first time we meet each other, we should use this Nihao. Okay, we go from the first one.
Yeah.
Irene, you all remember this?
Yeah.
This is on the phone. Okay, no need. 早上好.
No, the best way is just to set up dialogue. For example, hello, hello. What is your name? My name is.
But you don't have.
It's I've just given you all.
Okay.
Wait, please. But I want to suppose you a very exactly important point. If you go to learning how to write Chinese, just not talking, to write Chinese, I suggest you all guys. You know the word? If you write something and you make a mistake, never scratch it with a pen, because every scratch you do make a meaning, and maybe something bullshit or something garbage or who knows. Because if you scratch it like this, another meaning, and make confused.
No, I think
don't do this.
Let's start with just hello.
Let's start from
Hello.
only talking.
What is your name? My name is Irene. What is your name? My name is Paul. Thank you. Yeah, this is.
Okay, what is the how we talk in Chinese? I love you.
What? Can I speak?
I need it now.
How we just say hello, I love you. Even in Moscow, it's not working. Okay, let's go from here.
Yeah.
哎，你好，您好，
Repeat it.
您好，我叫 Paul。
What's your
You have to say this is 我的名字是
我叫对，我的 my name。
你说你的名字是
Paul，
他会说我叫。
好 ，OK， 再来一遍啊，
我叫依林。
好 ，OK。
您好，
very happy Chinese.
我的名字是 Paul。
我的名字是 Iris。
Oh,
Can I go with?
I love you.
I love it. Okay, next one.
okay, for you it's just 你好。Yeah, no. Okay, 你好。你吃饭了吗？ 我吃了。谢谢。你呢？我也是。这样。He's going to greet you hello and going to ask you, did you eat today? What means how are you? And you're going to say, yes, I have eaten. And you? Thank you. That's it. And this sounds like a what's it doesn't have. Yeah. 我还没有吃啊，我吃了 here， 我吃了 yeah, and then 谢谢 this is 我吃了谢谢 this is yeah okay start
你好，您吃饭了吗？
我吃了。
您呢？
你呢 means and you
你呢？
我也吃了，谢谢。
oh that's good okay you can repeat if you want yeah because it's a test okay
你好，
你好。
您吃饭了吗？
我吃了。
我吃了
我吃了。
谢谢
谢谢。
你呢
What about you？
你呢
我也吃了，谢谢你。
Good. Okay, for you it's 你好。
再见。
No, not immediately. You have to speak something.
你问他你会说中文 And you want to say 我不会说中文。I cannot speak Mandarin.
中文
Yeah. 我中文。
不会说中文，我不会说中文。
Yeah. 哦。
你好，你会说中文吗？
我不会说中文。
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 Yeah, that's good.
再见。
再见 It's bye bye. Good. Yeah. Next volunteer. Okay. For you, it's okay. Hello. No. 你想去哪里 ？And you going to say 我想去中国。Yeah, you going to answer I'd like to go to China. 我想去中国。Yeah. Hello.
你好。
你想去哪里？
我想去中国。
One more time. 我想去中国。
我想去中国。
去。
This letter is
想
去。
Yeah.
我想去中国。
中国。OK， 再来。
你好。
你想去哪里？
我想去中国。
Good. Okay. Good.
So I want to ask my nice friend Artem.
Yeah.
To give you a training point. If you gentlemen, if you want to start speaking with a Chinese woman, because I know most of you want, and also for women that want to talk with the Chinese guy. You can, I don't know what is in the Chinese, but at least the people who speak Chinese.
Penguin.
Yeah, you are the people who speak Chinese. Yeah, all the time there's mice. I show you. Oh, mice is very nice. Please. Oh, mice. Yeah. It's my Mike, one of my Vietnamese friends. He's excellent in making relation now. So I want to tell Mike, I explain everybody that there's an example that we can tell that we have a penguin. My nice friend Mike. He's absolutely Vietnamese, but he's speaking Chinese also. No, you tried. And there's a kitty. In Russia, there's a kitty. When, for example, I want to make a relation with Maya. I told you no, I have a penguin. But he's speaking Chinese. I want to show you the penguin. Come with me. And this is the starting point of the story. Yes, it's a starting point of the story. How to make a story. But kidding. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, we practice Chinese.
Yeah, practice. You speak Chinese?
No. Very simple phrase.
Yeah. How you deal with the Chinese girl, if you like it.
Thank you. I cannot do it.
How and then I love you. What's that?
No.
What I need.
As we are people.
You cannot go to China and say hello and hello. You have to know each other and discuss and you share some story.
Was she funny? Was she funny? You are penguin or not?
Are you a penguin?
No. Looks like.
Okay, I got it. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. So, then,
After,
yeah.
Before you continue and
Yeah.
before the second task, tell about which other application.
Yeah, listen, my dears. Since we're approaching the business part where I'm going to give some short tips regarding the business communication with Chinese partners, counterparts, or whatever. And I would like you to ask if to download the WeChat application. If you have, so don't need. But if you don't have, just to Google it in Apple Store or Play Market.
Because we will need it for the next practical.
Yeah, the WeChat application.
WeChat. It's kind of Chinese Facebook.
Same as WhatsApp here. There's a WeChat. What because there's a limitation in China.
Yeah.
WhatsApp, Facebook not working there.
Yeah, WeChat. We're going to because our time is limited, so I need to go further. This is the part for the business practices. I'd like to talk how the Chinese company name is structured. It's very interesting also. Yeah, the any Chinese company name, if you're going to deal with any Chinese company name, is usually structured in the following way. The first part is usually it's related to the place where the company is registered. For example, if this company registered in Shanghai or Guangzhou or Beijing, so the first part of that company name is usually start from the name of that city where the company is registered. The second part, usually, it's just the name. The names, whatever, it could be related to anything you like. You can create that name. The last part is related what type of the company it is. So if this is the consulting company, trading company, technology company, manufacturing company, whatever. So the last part is signifies the what company do. And the last part is just the limited, company limited. So usually it looks like that way, right? So Shanghai Jianguo Electronics Company Limited. This is something interesting I just wanted to share because we looked at the structure of the names of the people's name. And here it's the structure of the company's names. It's also interesting. Yeah, the business cards, there are a lot of the experts in the Chinese business culture, etc. They pay a lot of attention to how to exchange the business cards. And this has some importance when you're dealing with the Chinese counterparts. So when you are exchanging the business cards, it should be you should contribute in that exchange some of your respect. It's not like a giving your card that way easily, but usually I have this card. So when we exchange in the business cards, we usually doing. Dmitry, can you help me to exchange? Usually you need to do it with two hands. This is the way, and this is the same way that Dmitry absolutely rightly accepted. You two hands given and two hands receiving the business card.
And now you can go and pay.
Now you go and pay. This is interesting moment. I'd like you to check it out. It's related to how to take seats during the business meetings with your Chinese partners. So usually in the middle of the table, it's the head of the Chinese delegation usually takes seats, and in front of the Chinese leader of the delegation sits the guest. For example, yourself. So take the seats in front of the head of the Chinese delegations usually, and they usually sit just in the middle of their delegation. But this is the most interesting because usually when we go to Chinese restaurants, they have round tables. Yeah. And yeah, this is the way how they sit. So next to the host sits the guests. Yeah, on two hands on the side of the host, sitting the two guests. So this is the scheme. This is the structure. If you, yeah, this is important because I didn't include the part how to behave during the meeting in a restaurant. This is very important. But yeah, this is the approximate picture of how to need to take seats during any event in a restaurant. Yeah. Yeah, of course, one of the most important things to pay attention with is to understand in advance who is the senior person in the Chinese delegation. So usually there are a few people you need to at once understand who is the head of the delegation and trying to build this communication with them firstly and to pay attention to them first. This is going to define your success in this negotiations. Yeah, this is this is what I was thinking about yesterday. What are my 7 secrets of the dealing with the Chinese business counterparts or whatever? And here it is, this seven secrets. The first is you have to be confident, whatever, you are located in China, you don't know the culture, you don't speak the language, but if the Chinese counterparts, they feel that you are confident, you are short-spoken, you are behaving seriously, maturely, and they're going to take it counted. That's going to make sense later. So, so be confident. This is the first. The second is it's very important to pay respect to China, to China's people, and to its culture. This is set up some respect back to you. If the Chinese people feels that you are respecting China, they're going to really pay attention to that, and it's going to make sense later. The third one is try to build a personal relationship with the head of the delegation or with anyone, but in a better way, of course, with the senior host. Even if you don't speak Chinese, even if you don't understand how to communicate with them, try to find a way to, in a jokey way, I don't know, try to joke, try to use this translator, try to find a way to convey some thoughts to that person. And it's going to be very much valued. And this is very important. The Chinese, even some of them, they never been abroad, but if they have a chance to have a foreign friend, for example, even they have no means of communication in one language, so they're going to be very much proud of to have these friends. And I heard a few days ago, I was reading the book about the Jack Ma. He was this is the top entrepreneur in China and worldwide, actually. This guy, his life changed after meeting some Australian family, and they were just coming to travel in China, and they become friends. That's it. They couldn't speak with each other. They was in a very uncomfortable conditions, but they was maintaining this relationship, friendly relationship. And after a few years, after Jack Ma was hardly learning language to be able to communicate with this Australian family, he made a trip. He traveled to Australia to visit that family, and that family changed his life, like generally speaking. Yeah, this is the third one. The fourth one, show that you're professional in what you do. by having careful and serious attitude to what discussed during business negotiation. Yeah, the basic is be professional. Whatever you speak of, whether it's business, it's just like politics, economics, or whatever. If the Chinese person going to listen that you speak very seriously, professionally, they're going to appreciate it. They're going to understand that you are not wasting your words. That's very important. I checked that based on my experience. Yeah, and this is also very important. Bring traditional gifts from your country, because China a little bit, yeah, it's a closed country, so they have a limit to the overseas world, let's say so, and they are cherishing very much any gifts which is brought to China from the other countries. For example, if you're coming from Russia, it's good gesture to bring some traditional chocolate or ice cream, or I don't know, matryoshka, or some clothes, balalaika, whatever, anything. They're going to like it very much. They're going to put it on in their home on a very good place in their home or whatever. They value that very much. I know that because I visited many Chinese homes, and I'm bringing a lot. Now I'm going to China after the meeting, so I'm taking the chocolates, some snacks. They like it a lot, and they're waiting me to bring it. The sixth one is try to learn a few words in Chinese. They like it so much. Even if you say ni hao, that even one word, they say, wow, you speak Chinese so nice. Even if you know this only one word, and some people who you've been to China, as I understand. So when I was first time in China, I couldn't speak any word. Okay, ni hao, I know. I say ni hao, and they say your Chinese is perfect. Yeah, this is how they think, and if you know more words, they respect it so much. For me, I have this, because if you speak Chinese, it means you like China, and this is important for them. And the seventh one, it relates to your business expectations. So. Don't try to go and to talk to Chinese in a way that you are trying to get something from him, or trying to force him to some way of cooperation. This is not going to work. The first what you're going to do is to go and listen to that person and to understand how he is see or view the relationship between you and him. So first, get the understanding how Chinese counterparts like to work, whatever, it's business, it's just a friendship trip or whatever, anything. So first, get understanding of how this counterpart ideally see the cooperation, and only then make an offer how you see. This is going to help you to find this common ground. Yeah. This is pretty much that's it, but I'm going to pay attention, additionally to how China exists in the web, in the internet, because some of you might know that China has a big firewall. It's closed, so we cannot use Facebook, Google, or Instagram. Some other apps using their own apps. I asked you to download the WeChat app. It's the most popular first application in China. It's like our Facebook, it's like our WhatsApp, and it's like our Sberbank online all together. So it has more than 900 million users, the WeChat. This is some other general application you might use if you are going to China. WeChat, for example, air quality application, it helps you to check the quality of air, because yeah, China has these ecological problems, and this the level of the CO2 emissions is always like yeah, it's always different. So they check in the differences in these emissions. It helps you to understand what are the current ecological level in the city. This is the Chinese translator I use. For example, it's like Uber or Yandex Taxi, Didi Taxi. They have their own apps. What else? Yeah, there's something more, I think. Yeah, this is the social networks Chinese. They use Weibo. It's like a Facebook. They have Youku. It's like our YouTube. Or QQ. It's like an ICQ. Chinese. Yeah. So I want you, since every time when we meet new people in China, that even if I had this large, extensive experience of meeting many Chinese in different circumstances, starting from the meeting them in the subway, airport, I don't know, on the street, in a supermarket, whatever. They just see me from foreigner. They like to know me, and the best way is to add me in WeChat. So I suggest us today, as we more than 20 people right now, is to add each other in WeChat. Maybe we're going to build some group. It's the best way. If Dmitry, I think this is a good idea. Yeah, and this is my WeChat, for instance. You just can scan it. I suggest you to scan. Open your WeChat, please, right now.
Yes, when I've been in China, I found several years ago.
Yeah, what?
It's so small.
Yeah, but you anyway. That's fine. You can add mine. Okay.
But you need to register first in WeChat, right?
Yeah, of course, register. Da. Yeah. No, but try to use that one. This is the group. We already built a group for today's meeting. We're going to, yeah, Maria.
Okay. You should. This is for the for the full screen, like your ID.
Huh?
The same like your ID. It's a bit better to make.
Yeah, I understand, but I didn't know.
No, it's not like this one.
No, that's not.
Artyom, what is this?
No, it's here.
So it's coming from the iPhone. Blah blah blah. It's not the same. This is for the group, right?
This one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Join the group, 4 people.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go. Oh.
Hey, this one was the girl you were from Petersburg.
Yeah.
Why she's in the group? She's here?
She's managed all this. She's
So what's the name of the group?
Are we going to name it right now? Business. Did you add yourself? Yeah, add. Business.
Yeah, that's it.
Business network. I think this is the pretty much that's it. But yeah, you might have some questions, whatever, any type of questions related to China. Yeah, any.
No, I just want to verify more about
Yeah.
Guanxi.
Guanxi.
Yes. Because as I know, it's like a relation.
Yeah.
But you know, it's more than relation.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can expand more about Guanxi.
The Guanxi, it's much more than just a relationship. It's a trustworthy relationship. It's something like it could be even be close to the relatives even. So it's obligatory. It's a commitment, some commitment. So if you help me, I might help you. If you help me and you came and you asked, please help that person, I probably going to help them. And this is like a network of the relationship, Guanxi, how we call it. And also Guanxi, it's mostly they are created in some local groups. For example, the people from certain province or certain city come in and move into another big city, and they are keeping this Guanxi to build, to help each other, to support each other. This is Guanxi.
What did you do?
I'm doing, this is what I'm doing in China. Much helping the foreigners to do business in China.
From you.
From Russia and from Europe also, except, mostly in legal support.
Is there any culture different in China? Because it's a very big country. So like in Shanghai, it's like kind of relation, but in Beijing, it's kind of different relation, different communication style.
Yeah, we know that China is big, and in Shanghai, yeah, the differences could be the language difference, the cultural difference, ethnical difference. It's if you go to speak the local language, you might not be understood by the Shanghai person. So yeah, there is a big difference.
The rule, like the main rule today, can apply to most part of China.
Which rule?
Like the face, the concept of face, the Guanxi.
Yeah, absolutely.
This can apply for most part.
Yeah, of course. It's it's a general traditional definition of the notion in Chinese culture.
Does anyone have other questions to answer? Because tonight he has a flight to China, so you have a last chance to clarify anything.
Any questions?
Why Chinese take pictures with Russian girls on the streets?
Not only girls.
Good question.
I saw.
Yeah, not only girls, not only Russian. So, especially in a small city, because the Chinese they're not used to see the foreigner. So if they see the foreigner, it's something new, and they are likely to come to and to take a picture with you to show other friends that they have a foreign friend or they have a Russian girl. That's it. It's just
Thank you.
Once I was traveling in the train in Busan with a Chinese group, and I noticed they don't eat the meat they are offered.
Yeah.
But they take something with them.
Yeah.
And why do they do so?
They are not used to local food. And the Chinese food is pretty different from the food you eat here in Europe. So they are not used to, they need time to get used to the local food. So when they just traveling, this is that my Chinese friends, they always say that the group of Chinese tourists go into Paris and they have a good hotel in Paris and they have the breakfast included, but they don't eat. And they go into the supermarket buying this Rolton, super быстрого приготовления 方便面 in Chinese. 方便面 doshirак. And they're eating this doshirак since they are not used to this, they don't like. But this, the doshirак they like. They know the taste of the doshirак.
I agree. I can add more because I know a lot of Chinese friends in my university, and they cannot eat bread and they cannot drink milk. Normally they cook for themselves.
Yeah, but in Manila, you studied in Manila.
No, yes. In Moscow. I studied in Moscow.
But you said in Manila.
No, my university.
Your university. Yeah, they don't eat milk. If they eat milk, it's a soy milk.
Yes.
So yeah, they preferences, food preferences are very specific. So when they go abroad, they usually they don't find what they looking for. So they need to go to take some doshirак.
Yeah, I have a question. For example, I will go to Canton, and what is the way for me as a Russian or elsewhere in the United States, how to bargain with the Chinese manufacturer?
Yeah.
The best way. I mean, for example, this is my first time.
Yeah.
How to start, how to speak like about the price, and which way of bargaining is the good way, and which one is the bad way.
Yeah, of course, if you already have experience of going and bargaining with the Chinese, it's a pretty specific story. It's there is no universal ways to get what you want from Chinese. But of course, what I mentioned earlier regarding the 7 secrets, the best way is regarding the bargaining. First, get understanding how your Chinese seller, factory, or trader see your relationship with you. This is going to give you the leverage, giving you tool to manage your relationship, your cooperation. If you go into Chinese factory and saying, I want this, I want that, and I want that, I want this product be that quality, that product be that price, be shipped that time, etc., they're not going to accept you. They need, first you have to give the Chinese counterpart the way to express himself fully, whatever they want, how they see the relationship, and only then trying to find a way how you could find a compromise in that deal. This is the first, most important. But the other ways is you can at the first get a good conditions for the price, etc., etc. But later on you're going to lose it, since if they go giving you a lower price, it means you're going to they're going to give you lower quality. One way or another, they're going to build the cooperation that way, which is most benefit for them. You understand? So if they're giving you good price, they're probably going to give you lower quality. So
what's the you were saying you were talking about this spirit, I don't remember the word, like to build trust relationships.
Yeah.
Is it a way to build the trusted relationships to give that quality?
No, the guanxi, the relationship is mostly, it cannot build on a commercial business relationship. To build the guanxi, it needs something more than the business. And the best way is to find someone which has a communication with that person which is planning to go in business with, which is friend to that person. So it's not the, you need to find some friends, let's say. So if you need something, you need to find who is friend, or I don't know, or wife of that person, or the children of that person. So it's difficult for a foreigner, definitely. Because for me, it's a little bit easier because I have some circles of the acquaintances in China. But for you, it's more difficult. Usually, they likely not to respect your conditions of work.
Why do we have to respect their conditions?
It's not. But foreigners, they are not likely to respect the relationship with Chinese. So it's a commercial, it's a business way.
So business works like I give you what you need, you give me what I need. So I need a fabric of good quality, I'm ready to pay for that. But when we pay for that, we get shitty quality. And where is the respect? Where is the business?
This is the business.
That's not the business. It's not good business. We will never ever
Tell me about it.
So there's
Say something.
Yeah.
We don't really agree too much about this because, like you said, the shitty something. So whether you had a certain experience like this, or you just like trying to hurt something.
Yeah, we have experience when we try to buy fabric for clothes, for sports clothes. And every time we order different fabrics, different factories, we always get like 5 pieces of good quality and 5 pieces of bad quality.
So
It always happens.
Yeah, so you can stop trading with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just we try to clarify why do you do that, and they just say, oh, we don't know, like why it is bad, but it is damaged, for example. Oh, that's not our problem. It was good when it left the house. Whatever reason they can use, they say that, and we cannot do anything. They say, okay, if you're not agree, then you go to the court and try to sue us, and that takes also time, money, and we lose half of our fabric.
Well, then you stop treating like this.
I'm telling you, usually the Russian companies dealing with those Chinese factories, which giving you lower price and shitty quality. It is the fact that China produce.
Are you telling me what my company does?
No, I'm telling you how market is. The China produce for the entire world, and there is a premium quality companies which is produced for US or for the European market, and there is a middle or low end.
Where is the
company.
respect? Where is the respect for the business?
Why? You better find a different producer. This is the.
Yeah, we tried a few. Finally, we just buy Turkey because I don't know. At least they're trying to communicate in a business way. If they send us some damaged piece of fabric and we tell them this is it, we send the picture and they say, okay, give it back to our warehouse. We will send you the new one, and they do that. But we never got anything from Chinese companies.
Yeah, different experience. Yeah, unfortunately, it's that happens pretty.
How can I be friend? How can I find friends when they always treat us like that?
Ask me. I have a lot of friends. I have no problems with Chinese, and this is it's a friendly nation for me. So.
Maybe you can change
Where is better
contract with Chinese. Because me, I also work with Chinese factories, but we sold products. We have very good contract with them. Very strong contract.
Yeah, this is another opinion. Look, the girl sitting just next to you is saying that.
What kind of terms? So to discuss that, to know that we need to take the contract and go page by page and trying to solve it. This is the level of quality. This is the price. This is the timing. We're always late. Always at least one bad piece of fabric. And never all points or even yeah, they say go to court, try to sue us. Well, we can win in a Chinese court.
I could talk to your factory. Where is your factory located?
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think this definitely happened like many times.
Yeah.
Like many times or several times every year or a lot.
Yeah.
But the things get up to who you are trading with.
Yeah.
Right? If you're trading from a small factory far away from downtown, definitely, this situation probably will happen. These cases were happening a lot. But the thing is like if you're trading some reputable companies from China, like what we're doing now, because we are supplying cloth to your Rusnet and your Gazprom, right? So there's nothing happened because we are all reputable. So if you're trading somebody like far, you don't never know the name. I think this is the problem. Why you were treated like this way?
But why why the small company thinks that they can do bad business, that they can treat us like that.
No,
Why the big companies act properly and the small companies do that? Like, I don't know.
No, that's the reason I said, I think this lady also mentioned that you have to pick up, you have to choose which reputable companies and reliable companies which having very good reputation. So I'm not sure what you're treating with fabrics. You can talk maybe what I know from north of China. The best fabric supplier is Andaku. So they're half state-owned, they're half private. So you can trade with them. They are dealing with a lot of Russian.
Yeah, big companies, they also ask for too big prices, and they don't first, and they also they're not ready to sell us smaller amount of fabric. So they ask like, yeah, order for like, I don't know, 10.
Okay. Before we will turn to the networking part, does anyone have what to say?
How to search a supplier in China not using Alibaba?
Difficult question. You have to speak Chinese or ask someone who speaks Chinese to use the Baidu service. Baidu. It's a Chinese search engine. Like a Yandex. It's a Chinese one, Baidu. Even using the English words, try that. Baidu.com.
So we just like we use Google.
No.
Is it available here?
Same.
Is it available here?
Yeah. Baidu. But it's going to be Chinese.
You need to use Chinese language.
Yeah, you better translate the first and
Chinese Google
to get to use Baidu to search that.
And how did you
Baidu.
Baidu.
B-I-A-I-D-U.
Baidu.com.
So.
Yes.
Yep. Photo?
Okay, guys, let's upload to Artem, our speaker. And before we go to the next step, networking, so feel free to come any person you are interested in and ask like what you do or what brought you here, why you're interested in Chinese topic. But before this, let's take a group picture with Artem all together. I suggest us maybe to stay here. Yeah. And then Artem.
No, I'll do some networking with you as well, a little bit, because I have 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay, guys, please stand up in that corner, and I will take a picture with you or ask someone. I think we can ask them.
Manila, yeah, Manila. Have you been to
Good idea.
You can do anything.
Maybe someone can have a seat. This one and turn around because
Wait a moment.
you can also do this one because
Wait, I'm coming. Wait, I'm coming.
nice.
You don't see? How you do this? Okay.
The famous host already on behalf of China.
Yeah.
Ready? 1, say, 你好.
你好.
Okay, I also want to be with you.
Oh, before I
Boss
could
is not coming. Boss coming. 哎，那个女孩不来吗？不想来。How do you say cheers in China?
Cheers.
干杯。
Cheers. Okay, cheers. Say cheers there.
Cheers.
我说 cheese or cheers?
Cheers. In China, cheers.
茄子。
Cheers.
Okay.
那北方跟南方不一样。
This is not the end, so now the working part. Oh, give you a business class
В общем, эти встретились на рынке садовод, она переводила.
بعد گفت الان قدیش میکنه خبر میده احتمالا ازش میخواد که کل کارتر تحویل همین تیپ سالاد بدید. اسم ردیفش آندره هست نه؟
Ну, самое специализированное, то, чем мы помогаем, но другие не помогают, это регистрация компании, юридическая поддержка, организация представителей. Гонконг, да. В Китае меньше, ну, плюс в Москве есть мало таких компаний, которые мы сами регистрируем. А в Сингапуре тоже есть? Нет. Да, я дам депозит, но попозже. Есть партнеры, всегда вам что? Сложно, но открывается, если у вас есть можно нет всегда. Думаю, у вас есть там нужен бизнес-круг, если есть карты, возможно, есть какая-то другая обшорка у нас. Ну, если даже если такая почтовая выторгуете, да? Можно сделать, но по счету счет, да, счет, нет, я имею в виду счет, может посмотреть. Да, сейчас прикольно.
Artemis telling you to stop the.
Okay.